Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, traders. This is just a daily recap on Qantas. We're going to look at Qantas on the Australian stock market. Now, what we're looking at right now, we're looking at just a black open, high, low, and close chart. We're looking at a weekly chart right now. We're just going to get a good feel where the last sort of 2 to 3 years has gone, or where it's been. So right now, I've got a couple of my proprietary moving averages on there, and you can see that generally when it's above it, through here, generally we can see when it's nicely below it, stays below it. When it's nicely above it, stays below it. So when it's trendy, it's definitely below my proprietary moving average. But what I want to look at here, I just want to get a good gauge of where this market is right now, stock, so we can maybe have some parameters where we can trade against or trade with. And so that's what I'm going to draw right now. So right now I can see one thing. I can see where the market had a major support over here. And you can see how the major had a major support over here. What do we call that? A major double bottom. Now that's quite interesting, because if I delete that, and if I delete that, and I get my horizontal tool, we can see that if I just draw a line through there, we can see that's where the support was. Now if you see closely, you can see support. Now as the markets come down, stay below my proprietary moving average, bounced off support, came up, and then finally broke through. Now after it finally broke through, look what happened. It ran down, ran back up, hit it as resistance, and then get knocked back down to the downside. Now as you can see, this support here, major support on a weekly chart, broke through, came back up, and now created a bit of resistance. That's very, very important to your analysis, because when you're doing your analysis, and for the people in my trading room, and for the members in my trading room, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. When you're doing your support resistance lines, it's very important to have them in line so you know whether to trade with them or against them. And for this example, you know that if you're going to trade long, it's going to be short-lived. So maybe the short example on here, maybe the short on this stock here is much better than a long. And what I mean by that is, instead of going long, instead of looking for some upside, maybe look for some downside. Even if it does get some upside through here, to me it's going to be short-lived, because we have a lot of resistance through here as well. But the thing is, look at this. If I just delete that, and just move this over here through here, we can see that's where it is right now. Now if I just duplicate this, we can actually see it's actually gone through stages here. Now look at this. This is stage one. Stage one was this. Support became resistance, it tried to break up, and then banned to the downside. Now doesn't look exactly the same as what's happened right now? The exact same. Look at this. Support came through, resistance came down, hit a support line, ran up. It's trying to run up, hit support now. If it does run up, hit support once, twice, it might do the exact same thing. Now look at that. It just goes through stages. If I duplicate this again and bring it back up through here again, look at this through here. We have support. Support broke down, became resistance. Look at it, just broke down. If I give it another stage through here, let's go down. Let's go to the downside now. Duplicate this and bring this down through here. Whoops. Let's just grab the whole lot instead. There, through there. So right now we can see we actually just overall going sideways at the moment. And this is a weekly chart. So basically since October, November last year, right now mid January, right now in Qantas, we're just going sideways. Basically overall sideways. Now we could have some trend lines which can come into play. Now let's start adding some trend lines. Let's just delete all the indicators, delete everything, and start from a blank chart. And let's squeeze that chart up a bit more through here. And let's see if we can draw some trend lines. I'm going to go from the top through here, and I'll see if I can get a trend line from, let's say if I'm trying to get a trend line from the top here. I'm just going to draw that down through there. What I'm doing here, I'm just trying to find the tops here. And let's say we have something through there. Okay, right through there. Now as you can see, what we have here is that trend line is the starter. We came up, we hit this as resistance. So that's one test. 2 tests, and see where we are right now? 3 tests. So right now we are on a massive downward channel, and when the big guys came in, knocked it down, came back up, knocked it down, came back up, knocked it down. Now this is a level of where the buyers are getting out and the sellers are kicking in. Now if we look at our daily chart here, look what's happening here. We could be forming also what we know as a head and shoulder pattern formation. If you're not sure of the head and shoulder pattern formation, it looks like this. Market runs up. It runs back down. it runs back up again, comes back down, so you have the shoulder, come back up here, form the head, form the right shoulder, and this could be here. And if this does break, this means more downside coming this way. That's what this looks like. But right now, if we're looking at the short term, look at this. The shorter term says this is looking at a daily chart. This is not a strong support and resistance, but it's looking at a daily chart. The shorter term says that there's a bit of support and resistance going on through here somewhere. Can you see that? Through here we have support, bit of support, resistance, huge resistance, huge resistance, huge resistance, broke up, continue to break up, daily chart Qantas, found support, found support. Now the thing is, who's in control of the stock right now? The answer to that is the bears are overall in control. So the bears are long term in control, but right now everyone's having a bit of a breather. So if this starts to break down 240, I could probably see it coming down a lot more than that. So, but once again, make sure you get financial advice before you take any trades. But I could see a lot more downside action on this particular stock. But you just never know. It could bounce off here, become a major support, and then continue back on the upside. So that's what might happen. So just make sure that you get good coaching, and that's exactly what we do in the trading room every day. So make sure you come down and check us out. Once again, with Qantas, it's always very important to look at the weekly, and also sometimes if you can, delete all indicators, take everything off the chart, and go back to major support, major resistance. Even if you can look at a monthly chart will give you a really, really good example of what's going on. For example, a really good picture of what's going on. For example, look at this and you say, okay, what's really going on through here? Well, we can say, okay, this is the major support, major resistance through here. That's our major line. If we squeeze up just a bit more, we can see that we have something through here as well. See a bit of support, resistance became resistance here became support through here, became support through here. So we have that support line which became support through here. So as you can tell, looking at the weekly chart now, it's just channeling between major support and major resistance. Now this is going back a long time. This is going back quite some time. So what else can we see on this one? Well, we can see it probably has a bit of a channel happening through here. Channel meaning, look at that, if I just open up my chart a bit more, open it right up, and just duplicate this, we can see it's channeling through here. Look at that through there. Nice channel to the downside, it's hit resistance, it's bouncing off support. So the monthly, the bigger picture, you can see exactly what's going on. If this starts to break above this level through here, then we could probably see some more upside. If it starts to break, if it looks like it wants to keep continuing down, but right now it's at a major support level. So downside looks like it's going to happen short term, but overall there's a lot of buying action through here. So make sure you look after yourself, and once again, if you need any help, just let me know.